You're lying to yourself. Right now, as you watch this, you're swallowing comforting little lies about why you aren't where you want to be, about why you haven't achieved what they have achieved, about why your dreams remain just that, dreams. You blame circumstances, timing, bad luck. But deep down, in that place you refuse to look, you know. You know you haven't unleashed the monster within. What separates the Michael Jordans, the Kobe Bryants, the Muhammad Alis from the forgotten? Is it talent, resources, opportunity? No. It's a form of controlled madness that most people are too afraid to embrace. Nietzsche once said, "One must still have chaos in oneself to be able to give birth to a dancing star." The elites, the legends, the immortals, they've all embraced their chaos. They've weaponized it. While you've been taught to suppress yours, to medicate it, to apologize for it. Let me ask you a question that will make you uncomfortable. Do you really want success? Do you really want greatness? Or do you just want to post about it on social media? Because there's a price that Jordan paid, that Kobe paid, that Ali paid, that most aren't willing to even acknowledge, let alone pay themselves. These men didn't achieve greatness through balance. They achieved it through obsession, through what Joe Rogan correctly labeled as a certain psychosis of motivation. A level of drive that would make most people, normal, well-adjusted people, recoil in horror. Stop looking for the comfortable path to extraordinary results. It doesn't exist. It never has. The great Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." The greats don't avoid obstacles. They crave them. They need them. Each barrier is just another opportunity to separate themselves from the mediocre masses who surrender at the first sign of resistance. When Kobe Bryant was asked why he'd wake up at 4 a.m. to train while his competitors slept, he said, "Those hours are the difference between being great and being immortal." Think about that. While you hit snooze, complaining about how tired you are, how busy your day is, someone else is actively stealing your dream, taking what could have been yours. Do you see it now? The lie you've been sold? Society celebrates the achievements of the elite while actively discouraging the very behaviors that created them. They'll tell you to find balance, to practice self-care, to know your limits. Then they'll turn around and worship those who ignored every bit of that advice. This isn't about working harder. Any fool can work hard. This is about a fundamental rewiring of your mind, a complete reconstruction of your relationship with pain, with doubt, with fear. The champions don't overcome these emotions. They transmute them into fuel. Muhammad Ali didn't just train when he felt motivated. He said, "I hated every minute of training, but I said, don't quit. Suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion." The suffering wasn't a barrier to his success. It was the very foundation of it. Look at yourself critically for a moment. Are you running from discomfort or running toward it? Are you seeking the path of least resistance or deliberately choosing the harder road? Because I guarantee the ones you idolize chose the latter, every single time. The truth that no motivational speaker wants to tell you is that your brain is hardwired to keep you comfortable, not to make you exceptional. Your mind will construct elaborate justifications, sophisticated rationalizations, and convincing narratives, all designed to keep you exactly where you are. The path of least resistance is sewn into your DNA. Seneca understood this when he wrote, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that things are difficult." Your perception of the challenge is the true obstacle, not the challenge itself. You must weaponize your internal dialogue. The voice in your head must become a battering ram, not a barrier. When Jordan stepped onto the court, his mind wasn't filled with doubt. It was consumed with domination. "I'm going to crush them. I'm going to destroy them. They cannot stop me." Not occasionally. Not when he felt like it. Constantly, relentlessly, without mercy. While your mind asks, "Can I do this?" theirs states, "I will do this." The difference isn't semantic, it's seismic. Do you think Joe Rogan became who he is by dabbling? By pursuing his interests casually? No. He approached each domain, comedy, martial arts, podcasting, with the same ferocious intensity, the same obsessive drive, the same refusal to accept mediocrity from himself. The motivational industry has failed you. They've sold you on positive thinking, visualization, and affirmations as the path to greatness. But they've stripped these techniques of their most crucial component, the unflinching confrontation with your own limitations and weaknesses. True visualization isn't seeing yourself on the podium. It's seeing yourself in the depths of exhaustion, pushing through one more rep when every fiber of your being is screaming to stop. True affirmation isn't telling yourself you're already great. It's telling yourself that your current pain is nothing compared to the pain of unfulfilled potential. Your weakness disgusts you, doesn't it? Or at least it should. The gap between who you are and who you could be should fill you with a productive rage. Not self-hatred, that's a losing game, but a deep, primal refusal to stay as you are for one more day, one more hour, one more minute. Philosopher William James said, "The greatest discovery of my generation is that a human being can alter his life by altering his attitudes of mind." The greatest among us have internalized this truth. They've cultivated a mentality that doesn't just resist pain, but redefines it. Pain isn't pain to them. It's growth. It's separation. It's the sound of the gap widening between themselves and their competition. Think of that next time your alarm goes off and you're contemplating whether to get up or go back to sleep. Think of that when you're deciding whether to put in the extra hour of practice while everyone else calls it a day. Think of that when you're faced with the choice between the easy wrong and the hard right. The mind of a champion isn't born. It's forged, day by day, decision by decision, moment by moment. It's built through thousands of tiny choices that nobody sees, nobody celebrates, nobody acknowledges, except you. Kobe understood this. His Mamba mentality wasn't just about basketball. It was about a mindset that demanded excellence in every area of life. No excuses, no shortcuts, no days off. When asked about his relentless work ethic, he simply said, "There's a choice that we have to make as people, as individuals. If you want to be great at something, there's a choice you have to make. We all can be masters at our craft, but you have to make a choice." Have you made that choice? Truly made it? Or are you still playing at success, dabbling in discipline, flirting with dedication without fully committing? The great philosopher Epictetus warned us, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. This isn't about daydreaming. It's about declaration followed by demonstration. Words mean nothing without the actions to back them up. Actions mean nothing without the consistency to sustain them. You've been conditioned to believe that extreme commitment is unhealthy, that obsession is a disorder, that single-minded focus is somehow wrong. This is the greatest lie ever sold. The truth is that anything less than total commitment is a guarantee of mediocrity. Muhammad Ali didn't just train hard in the gym, he lived and breathed his craft. "I am the greatest," he declared, long before the world agreed. This wasn't arrogance, it was programming. It was him speaking his reality into existence through sheer force of will and unflinching belief. What are you speaking into existence? What reality are you creating with your thoughts, your words, your beliefs? Joe Rogan often speaks about the dedication of elite martial artists, how they subject themselves to daily discomfort and pain that would break most people. Not because they enjoy suffering, but because they understand a fundamental truth: the forge of greatness is heated by the flames of adversity. Look at the weak, pathetic standards you've set for yourself, the excuses you allow, the compromises you make, the mediocrity you tolerate. Would Jordan accept this from himself? Would Kobe? Would Ali? Would Rogan? No, they would be disgusted. And if you're serious about success, you should be disgusted too. Aristotle said, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. The champions you admire have built their excellence brick by brick, day by day, choice by choice. There was no single moment when they became great, only thousands of moments when they chose greatness over comfort. The voice in your head must become a weapon. When doubt creeps in, when fear takes hold, when weakness tempts you to settle for less than you're capable of, your inner voice must be ready. Ready to fight, ready to silence the whispers of surrender, ready to drown out the chorus of compromise. This isn't about positive thinking. It's about ruthless thinking. Thinking that refuses to accept anything less than your absolute best. Thinking that pushes you beyond your perceived limits. Thinking that transforms obstacles into opportunities, setbacks into setups, and failures into fuel. I am going to crush this. This challenge cannot defeat me. I will not stop until I dominate. I will not rest until I excel. I will not settle until I break through. This isn't just talk. It's mental programming. It's rewiring your neural pathways to default to excellence rather than mediocrity. It's creating a mind that doesn't just resist the pull of average, but is actively repulsed by it. Jordan didn't just want to win, he needed to win. He took every slight, every doubt, every criticism and metabolized it into motivation. He didn't just beat his opponents, he broke their will to compete. This wasn't just physical dominance, it was psychological warfare, starting with himself. Have you ever achieved that state? That level of absolute conviction? That complete alignment between thought, word, and deed? If not, you haven't even begun to tap into your potential. You're still operating at a fraction of your capability. The philosopher Schopenhauer wrote, "Talent hits a target no one else can hit. Genius hits a target no one else can see." The greatest among us aren't just better at the game, they're playing an entirely different game. They see opportunities, angles, and possibilities that remain invisible to everyone else. Not because they were born with superior vision, but because they've trained themselves to see what others miss. Every morning when you wake up, you face a choice. Will today be another day of going through the motions, or will it be a day of intention, purpose, and progress? Will you drift through the hours, or will you direct them? Will you react to circumstances, or will you create them? The champions choose creation over reaction every single time. They don't wait for motivation. They generate it. They don't hope for opportunities. They manufacture them. They don't wish for fewer problems. They develop greater capacity to solve them. Kobe once said, "Great things come from hard work and perseverance. No excuses." Notice he didn't say good things or decent things. He said great things. Greatness demands more. It demands all of you. It demands a level of commitment that would make most people uncomfortable even to contemplate. Are you uncomfortable right now? Good. Growth and comfort cannot coexist. They are mutually exclusive. The moment you start getting comfortable is the moment you stop growing. The champions understand this intuitively. They seek discomfort. They pursue it. They recognize it as the signpost pointing toward their next level. Society has sold you a narrative of balance, of moderation, of reasonable goals and realistic expectations. This narrative serves the average, not the exceptional. It keeps you in line, keeps you predictable, keeps you controllable. It does not serve greatness. Joe Rogan often discusses the concept of the dark arts of human potential, those methodologies and mindsets that unlock extraordinary capabilities, but come with a cost. The cost of isolation, the cost of being misunderstood, the cost of being labeled extreme, obsessive, or even crazy. Are you willing to pay that price? Or will you continue to seek the approval of those who settled for less than they could have been? Will you continue to measure your actions against the standards of mediocrity? Or will you finally break free and establish your own standard, one that honors the potential within you? Muhammad Ali didn't just face opponents in the ring. He faced the entire system that tried to define what was possible for him. "Impossible is not a fact," he said. "It's an opinion. Impossible is not a declaration. It's a dare. Impossible is potential. Impossible is temporary. Impossible is nothing. What impossibility are you accepting as fact right now? What limitation are you treating as reality rather than opinion? What ceiling have you placed over your own potential simply because others told you it existed? We recall this Seneca warning once again. Internalize it. It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that things are difficult. Your perception creates your reality. Your beliefs establish your boundaries. Your thoughts determine your limitations far more than any external circumstance ever could. Jordan, Bryant, Ali, Rogan, they all share one fundamental quality. They dared. They dared to dream beyond conventional boundaries. They dared to work when others rested. They dared to push when others retreated. They dared to believe when others doubted. But daring alone isn't enough. Courage must be coupled with consistency. Dreams must be backed by discipline. Ambition must be fueled by action. Day after day, week after week, year after year, without excuse, without exception, without compromise. This is the price of greatness. It isn't paid once in a moment of heroic effort. It's paid daily in the currency of choices that no one sees, no one celebrates, and no one acknowledges, except you. The voice in your head must become your greatest ally rather than your fiercest opponent. It must drive you forward when your body begs to stop. It must lift you up when circumstances try to keep you down. It must push you to excel when mediocrity would be easier. I am going to crush this. This challenge cannot defeat me. I will not stop until I dominate. I will not rest until I excel. I will not settle until I break through. This isn't just a mantra. It's a mental operating system. Install it, run it, debug it, upgrade it. Let it override the factory settings of doubt, fear, and limitation. The ancient Stoics practiced negative visualization, imagining the worst so they would be prepared for any adversity. The champions do something similar, but with a twist. They visualize the obstacles not to fear them, but to demolish them. They see the challenges not as barriers to success, but as the very definition of it. How do you view the obstacles in your path? As unfair burdens? Or as opportunities to prove your worth? As excuses for failure? Or as platforms for growth? Your answer reveals your potential far more accurately than any talent assessment or personality test ever could. Jordan didn't just practice more than his competitors. He practiced differently, with greater intensity, with clearer purpose, with higher standards. When asked about his legendary work ethic, he said, "I play to win, whether during practice or a real game. Every moment was an opportunity to excel, to improve, to separate himself from the pack." Are you bringing that level of intensity to your craft? Or are you going through the motions, putting in time without truly investing yourself? Presence without purpose is just attendance, not achievement. Effort without direction is exhaustion, not excellence. This is the unspoken truth about motivation that few will tell you. It's not about feeling good. It's about becoming great. And greatness is forged in the fires of discomfort, sculpted by the chisel of discipline, and revealed through the relentless pursuit of potential. The champions don't wait for motivation. They create it. They don't depend on inspiration. They demand it. They don't hope for optimal conditions. They thrive in any environment. We recall Marcus Aurelius. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. The obstacle isn't in your path. It is your path. The resistance isn't blocking your progress. It's building your strength. The challenge isn't preventing your success. It's preparing you for it. This is the mindset of champions. This is the psychology of greatness. This is the truth about motivation that society doesn't want you to hear. Because a population of self-directed, internally motivated individuals is much harder to control than a mass of people waiting for permission, validation, and direction. Choose now, not tomorrow, not when conditions are perfect, not when you feel ready, now. Choose excellence over excuses. Choose growth over comfort. Choose purpose over pleasure. Choose the path of the champion, difficult, demanding, and ultimately divine. Your potential is waiting. The question is, are you?